Welcome back to the Unsilenced. Today we'll be tackling topics that don't always get the attention it deserves. And what's that you might be asking? Well, it's the intersection of schools and politics. While this can be a continuous issue, we'll be
That's a nice intro you made, didn't you?
yeah. Can we restart? I messed up my intro.
No, let's just keep it. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about education,
I didn't finish my intro.
things that are going around with education, policies that are wanted to be made, and how politics really should not be as big part as they're trying to be in education.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice intro.
You didn't let me finish my intro.
Oh, you want to finish it?
Yes, I do. Intersection of school politics. While this can be a continuous issue, we will be taking a balanced approach and exploring the good and the bad. We will be discussing 3 key points, some of which may be surprising or controversial. But don't worry, we are not we're not shying away from the tough stuff. Instead, we're going to have an honest, thought-provoking conversation about the role of politics in our schools and what it means for students, teachers, and the community.
No offense, I know you didn't write that. Chat GPT.
Yeah. And then I edit it a little bit, It's fine. You're welcome.
I can tell.
I did write this one, though.
Oh, boy.
And then I just had ChatGPT check it, and it said it was well done.
Okay.
So the first topic today is should schools be allowed to have students' elections for student government, and if student government should be allowed in schools.
They want to get rid of student government?
Some schools do, yeah.
Schools or parents?
Parents.
Or politics?
Both. All of the above.
Is it the students?
Not really.
Oh, goodness.
Some of the pros to student government, because we're starting with pros because pros are better.
Mm-hmm.
Students develop leadership skills in student government.
Very true.
Yeah.
I've been in student government before, and that is very true.
Hands-on experience, activities, and volunteering.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Gain skills in problem solving and discussing and discussion making.
Sorry, some of the people in my student government did not get along.
Learn how to work in a community.
Fair enough.
Learning to take responsibility for students' actions.
I don't know if that one's necessarily true. It's not necessarily the student government's responsibility of what the students do, at least not in my student government that I was in. But, I mean, students are held accountable for their own actions. They don't really put that on student government.
Yeah. Help students express concerning things going on in the school and how they want to help solve them.
Very true. That's why I joined student government.
Shows how they can have the power to affect change.
Yeah.
Helps them gain different passions.
Yeah, that can be a thing, I guess.
Helps promote school spirit.
Yeah, definitely.
And can help bring students closer between each other and bringing teachers closer to the students.
I mean, with my school, that necessarily wasn't a huge thing. And the fact that we were only 280 students.
Yeah.
No, I forgot. No, we weren't that many.
You weren't.
We were 184 students, the whole school.
Including the freshmen?
Yeah.
The annoying freshmen.
The freshmen were literally almost 80 out of 180 of those. Freshmen were most of us.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Okay. And the reason parents are trying to get schools to remove student government is it's a popularity contest.
Okay, that I can back. That is very true depending on the school you go to.
Yeah.
My school, that was and wasn't a problem. Because I had originally ran for student body president, and I lost because more people knew the other person. It was a very tight race. I was told that we were literally within in single-digit votes difference. But the only reason I lost is because she was more popular. But at like bigger schools, it's a huge popularity contest.
Yeah, it is. Because I went to a bigger school with like, I guess it wasn't a huge school, but we had about 2,000 students.
No, it's about 1,100 students.
We have more than 100.
No, it's about 1,100 students.
But it's definitely a popularity contest there.
Yeah.
Like, not a lot of the non-popular students ran, if any. And then all the popular kids were just fighting to get the top spot.
Yeah.
And then the one who did get the top spot, everyone hates.
Yeah.
It limits opportunities for other students.
I can see that in a way of yes and no. I mean, I don't see how it's necessarily limiting opportunities, but if you're not popular, chances are you're not going to get the opportunity to be in student government.
Yeah.
I lucked out.
And then I know how a lot of schools, like even some of the bigger schools, it's not as much a popularity contest with super big schools because it's whoever you know, and like no one's really popular in super huge schools of like 2,000 to 3,000 students.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of people to know.
That is a lot of people to know. I would hate to be in a school that big.
Conflict with schools and school boards.
Oh yeah, that is a big conflict, and that is all the school board's fault, in my opinion. So in student government, in the year I was in student government, they added a new position where one of the students would represent the school at board meetings and stuff. Well, come third quarter, and he has not been to a seat.
Yeah. Like, did he not want to go, or did the district just forget to invite him?
They never had any meetings. Yeah, they made a position that was basically worthless.
It promotes political.
Very true.
Because there's some schools in Texas, apparently, that they were naming, like, some of the, like, the political, like, the votes. There was one candidate who was running, who was, like, the positive pony.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was another student who was running, and I don't remember what their name was, for their party.
Okay, so they did parties?
Yeah.
That does not make, like, any sense.
So, like Republican and Democrat parties.
So they brought politics into it, basically.
Yeah. Now, of course, it's Texas, so no one really cares. None of the parents care. But people online care a lot. And they're very, very complaining about that.
I don't know. The Californians that moved to Texas might care.
Well, the Californians are stupid, and they don't need to leave their state.
Be open-minded.
No. They can stay where they were originally at if they're going to bring their false beliefs to other states.
Salty?
Maybe they should learn how to drive in the snow.
Salty? Texas doesn't get snow.
I know. But... Okay. And then the final con is how much time that students need to put into student government is not worth being in student government.
I don't know. When I was in student government, we would have meetings every 2 Thursdays. And then, like, at activities, of course, you had to go there and do it. But it wasn't a ton of time. There is some things, though, like I had to, like, each week do, like, during the week. And it did take a lot of time, especially when I was in my senior year. Like, I had no time at all.
Was it really student government's fault, or was it more all the classes you were taking faults?
Let's just say I was maybe not the most productive person. It was maybe not the most productive person. It's kind of lazy.
That's fair.
But
But, so, in your opinion, do you think school boards or schools should not be allowed to have student government?
okay, this is what I think should happen.
Okay.
And it's very elaborate.
Okay,
And I
let's
think
hear
it
it.
could be even funnier if like actual politics adopted this.
Okay.
When you're running, you can't let anybody know you're running. You're anonymous.
Then how do they know who to vote for?
Only the like so they'll vote for a passage. So students will read like what the person is saying and then they'll vote for that passage. Like if this passage says things that you like more, you'll be like, "Oh, I like this one more." Or if this passage says I like this passage says you stuff you like more, you'd be like, "Oh, I'll vote for this one." So you don't know names, you don't have a face to the names, you don't know anything. And then they will release the info after the voting is finished.
So you're telling me if one day I make it to Congress, I can't tell you that I'm running?
No, I would say this has to apply to the whole United States, like the whole country. Like nobody in the entire country could know you're running.
Not even my
Which
family?
is nope.
Not even my husband?
I have no idea. But it's very it would be very hard to do that in the actual
Yeah.
yeah. But in student government, I feel like it should be like really anonymous. Like you try to keep it on as low as possible, and then reveal it. So then you get like people votes that are based off of passages and based off of like things that they want to do instead of a popularity contest.
That's fair.
And then I think if school government is going to be a thing, student government is going to be a thing, they need to connect with the actual like school board and the principal and stuff more regularly because that's the only way things would be changing is if you actually talk to the
School board?
school board. Nothing changes. I mean, I in student government, I tried to change a bunch of things, but they wouldn't let me. They're like, "Oh, we have to get a permission for this, and we can't allow you to do this and this and this." And I was over here thinking, why did I get voted in?
Yeah.
Because in my student government, when I was running, the teachers were also allowed to vote.
Mm-hmm.
The teachers were 50% of your votes, and the students were like 50% of your votes. The only reason I got in. I actually made my own branch of student government when I was in there because I wanted to focus on mental health awareness, and there was nothing in student government for that. And so the teachers voted me in to do that, even though I lost the student vote.
Okay.
And so I basically forced my way into student government. And then I got in there, and a while later, I ended up emailing one of the teachers, being like, well, the person in charge. I was like, why did you vote me in if you aren't going to allow me to do what you voted me in for?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like schools really need to be more considerate about
Mm-hmm.
the people that are in the student government because like they're really passionate about that and most of the time they want to do something. And I know for other schools that like do dances and super big elaborate things because
Mm-hmm.
your school really wasn't into that stuff.
They did dances every third quarter.
Every only third quarter.
Mm-hmm. And then they did separate activities the different quarters. Like first quarter activity was usually like an outdoor like games thing.
Mhm.
The second one was an indoor games where you got to skip class. Third quarter was usually dance, and fourth quarter the school paid for all the students, including incoming students, to go to a park nearby, and they gave us all like a bunch of food, played a bunch of games and stuff.
But like in other schools when they're like schools that have
Like,
homecoming,
yeah,
prom, winter
yeah.
ball, all that, like that takes a lot for the students to plan
Mm-hmm.
and then make the posters and make.
And a lot of time they don't even have much of a budget to do so. Like they're going out of their own pocket. Like when I was in student government, we had a $2,000 budget for the entire school year, and so a lot of the money we were spending was actually going out of our own pockets.
Yeah, the school student government needs more money too. But
Yeah, they need a bigger cut, but
okay, so yes or no on student government?
I think so. Yes.
Okay. So the second point we will be discussing today is the role of teachers in addressing controversial and sensitive topics in the classroom. This can include subjects such as government, political science, and social issues related to gender and sexuality,
Oh
such
boy.
as LGBTQ rights and gender theory.
We got drama.
And then we will also be discussing if schools should ban books.
Oh, this is a big one to talk about today.
Also, sorry, the car's being a little loud today, so you might.
That will all be edited out.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'll edit that.
The noise cancels that out. The noise cancellation. But why do you do that?
I don't know.
Okay,
So,
political science, huh?
yeah.
They want to get rid of it?
Of course they do, because they don't want politics in the classroom, but they think it's okay to teach 5-year-olds how to change their gender.
Okay. We're going to get into a heated discussion here. Not argument, discussion.
It might be an argument between me and you.
Maybe not between me and you, but maybe between us and the rest of the
World?
So, the way I think of it is politics should be taught in the classroom.
Yes.
Like the general form of politics. We shouldn't be talking about current politics. I think we should be talking about the way politics works, like the formation, how it came to be, such as the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, all of that. That should be discussed, and then they should discuss.
in U.S. government.
Yeah, and then they should discuss how all of that works instead of discussing certain politicians such as Biden or Trump or any of that. They shouldn't be talking about that.
Kanye West.
They should be talking about how it works as a whole instead of how there's an agenda going.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's how it should be taught. Like, of course, talk about major politicians. So, like, politicians such
Alexander Hamilton.
George Washington, Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson wrote the flippin'
Declaration of
Independence, and the Constitution, and
part of the Constitution.
Well, yeah, but and then Abraham Lincoln.
Excuse me. Are you wearing bird, sir? That depends. Who's asking? Sorry, I've been listening to Hamilton a lot.
Then there's like Abraham Lincoln, of course, talk about him. And then
historical politicians.
Teddy Roosevelt, by far my favorite president. By far.
You know, the one who made it so you can't run more than twice? You can't serve more than 2 terms?
Yeah, he served 3. But no, he was that good though. Like the U.S. loved him. He did so much good for the country.
I know.
And I wish we had him back. But
He's
dead. Wasn't even alive when he was there.
I know.
But I think it should be taught about more of a perspective of how it works, and instead of a perspective of what is happening in politics.
Or like, are you left or right? You know.
No, they shouldn't be talking about that. I mean, of course, talk about parties and how they work and stuff. No, I don't think parties should be a thing. In fact, parties are like literally like they only exist in like the U.S.
Yeah.
Like the UK, they don't have parties. Germany, they kind of do.
How can the UK have parties when it's legit royalty?
It's not. The royalty has no power at all.
The Queen doesn't have the power.
The Queen's dead.
Okay, well, we don't like the current king, so.
The king has no power at all.
Interesting.
The royal family, no power at all. It's all under the. I forgot what they call him.
But, anyhow. So I think they should teach politics in school, but not...
No, the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is who is in charge over in the UK. And they don't do it by parties. And such as in Germany, they kind of have parties, but it's
Nazis? Or non-Nazis?
Yeah, no. Oh my
Well,
goodness.
that's how it works. You're either a Nazi or a non-Nazi in Germany.
It does not exist anymore.
That's how it worked during World War II.
Anyways, they don't really have parties in Germany. They'll say, "Oh, I'm part of this party," but nobody actually cares about that. Whereas in the U.S., it's like party, 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 party. You
It's
only
like
get two,
no,
two parties to
three.
choose from.
Three. There's Republican, Democrat, and liberal.
Name one time a liberal's been voted
That's fair.
in. Yeah,
And you want to know why you can never name a one time a liberal's been voted in? Because they'll never be voted in because they suck.
it's actually the libertarian politics. Anyways, we are very non-biased,
You may be non-biased. I am very biased.
but that's what I think about how it should be taught in classrooms.
Yeah, I feel like, and I hate when like it's against the law for teachers to even mention what political party they are.
It is.
But yeah, it's like first off, you can't mention your political party at all in school.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it is. It's like, although I kind of think because people are influenced by their family, their friends, and their peers
Mm-hmm.
and teachers. And I'm pretty sure if we knew some of our teachers' political parties, those teachers will become our favorite teachers ever.
Or our enemies.
Yeah.
I'm glad we don't. I'm glad it's illegal to tell that. But yeah.
Yeah. So next we're talking about so in this my so with gender and LGBTQ rights and stuff, it's all age. I really do not believe you should be teaching an 8-year-old on how to switch their gender. I'm sorry, they're freaking 8. When you're 8, you're confused about the whole entire world.
As we have said before in another podcast.
Are we sure we said it in a
episode.
podcast?
No, we've said it in an episode. I know I said this because I remember it. I said I had no idea who I was when I was 6. I was just going outside and playing around.
Exactly.
I wasn't like, maybe I'm a girl.
Or maybe I want to be a dog.
Or maybe I'm bi. Or maybe I'm this. That's not what I was thinking then. I promise you.
No, it was not. I was like, when I was 5, I was playing family.
Yeah.
And then someone was the mom and someone was the dad. And it doesn't matter if the mom and dad are the same gender. One's the mom and one's the dad.
Exactly. Like, it didn't really matter. Like, we were just playing around. We weren't, like, it didn't really matter to us in that way. And I am in full support of LGBTQ. Like, to a degree, I am in support of LGBTQ. Like, it's a really big thing, and there's a lot of suppression that goes on about it. But.
And then you also have to take into consideration I'm part of the community, and like
I am as well.
I disagree with some of the things within the community.
Agreed. And like, I don't think that the gay agenda should be pushed on elementary or even middle schoolers, really.
Yeah, because it's like you really do not know who you are.
I think it's like end of middle school to high school where you start figuring out who you are.
And okay, this is one thing I'm in full support of is sex education for LGBTQ people as well. Because sex education is girl and guy. But I also feel like you need to teach guy and girl and girl.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want the students to know what they can get. You want them to know how to protect themselves. Because, sad to admit it, our world is changing and sometimes not for the best.
The world is changing, and school is one of those things that needs to change with it.
Yeah.
But, like, we shouldn't be teaching these things to elementary schoolers.
And middle schoolers.
We need to focus on their development, like their brain and physical development, before we focus on them trying to figure out who they are. I don't even know who I am. And I'm in college!
I know, right? It's like college. I still don't know who I am. Y'all need to take a deep breath.
And once you get older, like you can start talking about these things, but do it in a professional manner,
Mm-hmm.
not we're gonna push an agenda manner.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I kind of feel like it should be the same thing as teacher. You know how teachers can't mention what
Yeah,
political party they are?
yeah.
They also shouldn't be able to tell students whether they're gay or straight because that should not
I think it's fine for them to tell them that, or at least like show it or not hide it. Like
not hide it,
not
but
hide it, but like I don't think that that should be the first thing you say, nor the most important thing you say, or
yeah,
anything like that.
like if your students know that you're gay, because there's some people who legit cannot hide that they're gay.
Yeah.
They're they're very flamboyantly gay, which is fine, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So we do have two sounds that we'll be inserting because you don't need to watch the video, you just need to listen to the sound and I'll be inserting it. And we'll be listening to it too, and then we'll be right back.
Is the sort of agenda that seems to be happening with our children in society.
Which agenda?
They're sending cross-dressers into primary schools and then trying to teach, homosexuality when the two are not synonymous. So it really...
What upsets me about people like this is that they can't be honest about how they truly feel about queer people. It becomes annoying and upsetting when you want to be an ally or you want to be civil with queer people, quote unquote, but you still perpetrate ideas which harm them on a daily basis. For any parent watching, I'll tell you this. I once was a trans child. And because of this behavior and because of this rhetoric that you're displaying, I have become to resent those that raised me up. Because you know what this is truly about. This isn't about an agenda, it's about fear. You're also forgetting that children have agency. They have the right to discover and explore who they are at a very young age. You're not really protecting.
So
Well, that was.
you
Mm. Okay.
see, I think it's the parents' responsibility when they're younger to teach them to respect people who might look like a guy but identify as a girl, you know. It's our job to teach them to be respectful to that person.
Mm-hmm.
It's not our job yet to make them choose, to have them choose what they are yet, because they are not ready to choose yet.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna be the
Okay.
not so open-minded one here.
Okay.
I both disagree with what he says, or they say sorry. That was my bad.
What she
Sorry,
says.
I didn't know. Well, I disagree with what she says. However, I kind of see where she's coming from.
Mind you, he's holding his fingers up like not even a centimeter apart.
Not even a millimeter. Okay. Basically, like she was talking about how like it's about fear, right? No, 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 no. Kids do have the right to discover who they are at a young age. However, we do not have the right to push an agenda on them at a young age. They can discover who they are. They can play and all that. I mean, obviously not like do
The nasty?
yeah. But we cannot just push an agenda on them,
Mhm.
which is what's been happening. And it's not about like LGBTQ being afraid. It's they're trying to push it on to the children these days, and I do not agree with that.
Mhm. Well, here's the thing. You should not be pushing that agenda onto little kids
No, not at all.
because they are little. They're still, especially at 8. It's the why age. Why is this? Why is that? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Asking why about everything.
Yeah. And at that age, they're just asking and trying to figure out the world. They have no clue who they are at that age, you know?
Mm-hmm. Like they may discover new things and new experiences, but that does not define who they are yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if you're having a kid, it is very, 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 very important that you explain things at an early age in a respectful manner. Like, if I ever had kids, I would be like over here, like I would like by the time they are like 5, I'm gonna be explaining to them about LGBTQ and that, and then I'm gonna be like, this is what they are. They are still people. We still respect them, and that's fine. They're normal.
Mm-hmm.
But I am not going to be pushing like
them to be gay.
I'm not going to be pushing being like, maybe you are like this. Maybe you should try this. No.
No.
I'm going to set boundaries and I'm going to explain rules.
Yeah.
And how to be respectful. I'm not going to I'm going to explain it to them before they actually try to figure out them on themselves at a young age.
Yeah, and then of course I'm gonna explain to them how to be respectful to people
Mm-hmm.
who identify as they them, or he they, or she they, or I'll
Mm-hmm.
teach them how to be respectful. But I'm not gonna teach them to change their gender at that age, because they don't know.
No, they don't know who they are yet.
They don't even know. They don't really even understand the concept of gender yet, other than boy and girl.
And like you're just, like I said, I want to explain it to them so that they don't go and try to figure it out for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to be able to have a solid, secure, and like open. That's a very important part. Solid, secure, open, and safe person to talk to.
Yeah.
And that's very important for kids, is having that support.
Like, I swear, if you were ever, I know you wouldn't ever meet, but if you were ever to be like not supportive of your kids if they ever choose to come out, I would hit you.
Please do.
I would be like, Jared, I'm gonna be like, do better.
Oh, this podcast is going all over the place.
I know.
Oh, okay, what's the next sound? Because we're at 31 minutes so far.
Okay. So I don't think we'll hit the third topic today because we're so far in. So we might just stick with these and then save the other topic for...
What was the third topic?
It was Trump and his new...
Yeah, we'll definitely cover that a different day. We could spend an entire episode on that.
Yeah, we could. So this is the last video.
I just think that when the difference between sex ed and this like gender stuff, when you were taught sex ed, that's backed by facts and like that's like by like it's real. You know what I mean? Like you have a vagina, stuff like that. That's like real stuff. But most stuff about this gender stuff is based on how you feel. You do like I don't understand what I mean. Like I feel like I'm this. I feel like I'm that. And when you're 8 years old, you feel a lot of things. You know what I mean? Or when you're in the 8th grade, you feel a lot of emotions. So like just to say all of a sudden, I want my dick cut off and all that stuff, to me that's crazy. You know what I mean?
I agree.
100%. You see, I did not want to only pit one side with disagreeing because I'm like, that would drive me insane. We have to have some side I agree with because yeah. And then
I agree with him. Like I said, we were saying earlier. You're going through so much at a time. You don't know who you are. You can't just suddenly be like, oh, I'm this, because people are going to be like now trying to push that on you, and they're going to be like all that. No, you don't know exactly who you are yet. And when you do, you'll find out.
Yeah.
You'll know when you know. You'll know when you know who you are.
And okay, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get so much hate for this one day. If my kid ever came out to me as like they want to identify as a dog and want to go pee outside in the woods and walk around and eat out of a dog dish and wear a dog collar, not happening.
Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh. Psych ward. Right there.
No, that would no.
I'm sorry, I can't. It's no. You see, I can get switching genders. I can fully support that, but you cannot physically switch.
You cannot switch your species.
You cannot switch from human to dog, or human to cat. I can't. A cat can't just randomly be like one day, oh, you know what? I want to be a dog.
Okay, hold on. There are a lot of cats, I swear, that think they're human.
There's a lot of animals that think they're human.
But, yeah.
But that's animals, and they think they rule the world. Well, they kind of do. Especially chickens. There's a lot more chickens than humans. Which kind of terrifies me. No.
Well, this all reminds me of this thing I saw today. It was this school. I think it was in Texas. I'm not certain.
What is it with Texas and schools
I
these
know,
days?
right? The board, they had this trans guy come up to them and be like, I am not comfortable having urinals in the men's restroom because I cannot use them. So after that one person, they covered all the urinals and forced all the guys to use the stalls.
But yes, you.
And then they were considering making it so like all the bathrooms were like they would just be all gender bathrooms.
No.
Anybody can go into them. And I'm like, hold on.
No.
That can be dangerous for girls
and guys.
and guys.
Because guys get raped too.
Yeah,
but
that's true. That can be dangerous for both people. And there needs to be a line of privacy, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm comfortable with most things. Like, if I saw, like, I've seen girls. They weren't actually trans. They were just girls who came into the guys' restroom because the girls' line was full. I was just fine with that.
Yeah, the girls' line gets backed up a lot.
I was just fine with that. Like, I'm cool with it to a point, but like locker rooms?
No,
I would not allow that.
I don't even allow, like, because this has happened to my school personally. We had a guy pretending to be trans to go into the girls' locker room.
That is messed up.
Like, and it was invading of the female's privacy because everyone knew he wasn't trans, but because he went and was like, I'm trans, no one in the district could argue, or no one in the school could argue and kick him out.
Yeah, but so the students, like almost the entire student body actually went outside of the school board's offices and protested peacefully too.
You see,
and I think they were able to change the rule back, but see, I'm proud of those students. Like, good job, guys.
Here's the thing, and also it's like, you want to have, there can be gender equal or family bathrooms, one that has both a urinal and a normal toilet in it, whatever, because
men's restrooms has both.
Yeah,
but yeah,
women's only has the one toilet.
Well, that makes sense why.
But it's like, those bathrooms are fine because it's like, those are one people bathrooms or family bathrooms. And that's when they should be okay. I don't think you should have boy-girl bathrooms for everyone with stalls in them.
Yeah.
Because that can be so dangerous for so many people.
Yeah, there's a line of privacy, in my opinion, that needs to be followed.
Yeah.
Well.
Okay. Well.
We're a little over normal, but that's okay.
Thanks for listening in today. We'll hit the other two topics another day because we didn't fully finish this one because, well, it doesn't really have to do what this topic kind of does, but whatever.
We'll figure it out.
Have a good one. Bye, you guys.